What's up guys, it's Smith here from GamersHeroes.com, and today I just wanted to share with you some Manor Lords gameplay. I've been playing for about 35 hours at this point. We are still under embargo, so I can't break down impressions or give you a score or anything like that. I just want to sort of show you guys what I've been up to the last few days playing this game. I've gone into it quite heavy in some areas. I'm still experimenting with a lot of things. It's one of those games where there's intricacies all over the place. So there's different, like the farming itself is a really complicated but rewarding procedure. It does need a bit of work, but it's there's so much to it, and that whole thing is across the board. So I'm going to show you what I've been working on. This is my second place. I've got two different areas here. This is my capital, Echenhao. I don't know how you pronounce that. I didn't name it. As you can see, it's all ticking along nicely here. I'm earning money. My people are all running around doing their things. I've got a little bit of a farm down here. I've got some sheep running around. So the city management sim side of it is exactly what you'd expect. I was really excited for this game building up to launch, but I didn't follow it too much. I don't like being spoiled on a lot of stuff. So if it's a game I'm really pumped for, typically I try and take a step or two back so I can sort of experience a little bit for the first time. And the city management stuff is exactly what you think it is. You've got, all your different families and that you've got to cater for. You've got to make sure they've got all of their resources and their requirements in order for them to flourish and attract new families. You've got to worry about balancing your approval rating, making sure they're not annoyed or angry with certain things that you're doing, like raising taxes and that kind of stuff. I've not seen much with the public order offences and that yet. I'm not sure how ingrained that is into the game. And there are a few areas that definitely are placeholders right now, which is fine. It's very, very early access. With these kind of games, it's more about jumping in for the potential, right? You want to jump in now because you're impatient as I am, but it's all about where the game can go. So as you can see, this place is ticking across quite nicely. And one of the things I like most about this is the regions play a part, right? So this is my starting region. This is my second region. I've taken this one, but I've not built anything there yet. So every region is not going to be the same. You're not going to build up this super metropolis of all resources and all materials and all produce. It's going to be restricted based on what you've got available, right? So in the starting area, for example, I've got an iron-rich deposit, which allows me to farm iron infinitely with a certain upgrade. I've got some food, that kind of stuff, but there wasn't a ton of space for farming. So food is my primary problem in my hometown. If I show you one of my little burgage plots here, see that they're not as full as I want them to be. I want everyone to be as happy as possible. If I look at the marketplace down here, you can see the food variety is not great. There are some houses on the west there that just aren't getting any food at all because they're miserable. Can't say that, but they're miserable people, so I hope they starve to death and die. For this area specifically, like I put a lot of time and effort into getting a wood cutting system in place. So I've got my woodcutter's lodge and my logging camp, and then my forester's hut. So this guy will cut down wood for fire, so your guys can get heat in their houses and whatnot. The logging camp mines for, or cuts down timber, and then the forester's hut replants trees. So as they're all doing this, I'm then getting them exported over to the charcoal, making the charcoal, and that's my biggest exporting on the trade post. The trade system is fantastic. It works really well with the regional system because it doesn't matter what you produce excess of, you'll be able to make some money on it. Obviously, some things are worth more than others. So, like, for example, I've got eggs all over. Almost every burgage plot has got an egg upgrade on it. I've got so many eggs, but they're not worth a lot. So the trading system itself is really intuitive. It works really well. It's really easy to get a hold of. Something I'm definitely enjoying so far. And the burgage plots, I keep meaning to look at do that in a second. The actual definition, I've never heard the word burgage before, so it's not something I'm familiar with. And these are basically the housing plots that you can build. So you can see, you can throw these down. I know a lot of you guys have played the demo and that, but I know some of you haven't. So this is like a burgage plot with upgrade slots, so you can build like a vegetable garden on it, or you can have chickens or goats for hide. So almost every process has a branch, a path, a decision you can make that's going to better your region or hinder it if you're not doing it properly. So it's really interesting that it's, you're min-maxing different areas of production, right? So because I've got this deep mine of iron, I've got a number of armorers shops making special armor and that kind of stuff. So there's a lot to do all over the place. And this area, I've probably done about 8 hours in this one city here, and I've just moved over to the next one. So there's, it's a sizable map. This is the domination game mode where you do have to take out all of the territories and then wipe out an eventual boss battle. I've not had a ton of experience in the combat. I've only been attacked a couple of times by sort of a ragtag group. A bit like these guys here. I don't know where they're coming from. They're coming from up there. So let's speed this up and see if I can get this out for you guys so you can see some combat too. I thought from the stuff I'd seen before release, it was going to be more instance based. I think there is an instance battle at the end. There's like an off map battle that you can do. But we're going to put together an army here. So I've got my retinue, and this is something I wasn't aware of at all. But you can customize these guys and all sorts of stuff. I don't know if I can bring it up while they're not deployed. So you can have sort of like your own king's retinue of soldiers with specific equipment and stuff like that. So it's a lot of fun. Let me throw these guys down. About the extent of my numbers, I think. Let's get all these guys deployed. So as well as sort of forming militia from your own civilians who take the equipment that you've gained. So you can see here, look, I've got war bows. I've got all the equipment they need. So they're going to come in relatively well equipped. Obviously earlier on they're pretty much peasants with pitchforks and they don't last too long. You can hire mercenaries as well. I've not seen any recently, and I don't have a ton of treasury. That's quite a complicated system too, where you have to earn regional wealth by importing and exporting goods and then converting that to treasury by taxing the earnings of your people, which obviously sends them into absolute disarray. They don't like it. Your approval rating drops real fast and things can get pretty ugly. So we're just going to get the soldiers out here. This is pretty much how combat has mostly worked for me so far in the game. It's just been these little groups of soldiers. This is probably the biggest one I've seen so far. You'll get alerted they're coming through somewhere. They'll generally head in the shortest direction to get to your base, and you'll have to fight them off. So let's see if we can... going to put these guys on the front line, because look at these guys. Look at them, beasties. One thing I haven't seen yet is cavalry. I don't think there's cavalry in the game, and the combat system really plays perfect for it. Let me show you. So let's get all our troops up. Get another one there. You know, it's just got that sort of Total War-esque style element where you're putting formations in, you're utilising the rock, paper, scissors kind of stuff. Obviously with my frontline troops here, so these are spear militia. I'm going to put these guys into a stand your ground stance. It doubles their defence, but halves their attack frequency, which is fine. I don't want them attacking. I just want them to be a meaty front wall you guys are facing. They're going to stand your ground as well. They're going to stand your ground as well. They should be fine. And then I've got one more group that I'm probably going to leave at the back for some kind of pincer attack. Spread these archers out a little bit. Going to turn this off. So as you can see, because I've been relatively stationary for a little while, most of my guys are quite battle ready. You know, effectiveness 110%, 107%. So by the time the enemy troops get here, which is probably going to be a lot longer than I thought, they might actually be going to attack my other settlement. We might have to go out and meet these guys in the field. I think we're going to. Because my other settlement does not have any troops at all. I'm going to move them over there for now like that. So this means now the advantage I had at being more effective than my opponent has just gone down the absolute toilet. So they're going to come in here now and try setting fire to everything. Moving at an alarming pace. I've got to hope my guys can intercept in time. I can't walk over the farms. This is sort of my secondary town. I'm really trying to push into the farming. You do need an awful lot of space for the farming. So the little one I showed you over here, it does nothing. It's not enough to feed a family for a month. It's bloody useless. So I definitely need to look more into the farming system so I can understand it a little bit better. Let me sort of... Not sure, there was another group ran off somewhere. I don't know if they've gone off into the trees or if they're coming around the side. There we go. Are you guys still on stand your ground? You are, yes. Turn the sprint off. You guys go up there and get in the mix of things. So I'm going to put these guys into shoot at will because it is short distance, so it should be more beneficial for their damage, hopefully. Let's set up. So because it's sort of that real-time stuff where you're just on the map you're already on, it's not, you know, like pre-constructed and all let out nice. You're going to get into positions where you're not in a good spot because you've got the low ground or they've got the high ground or whatever. So you have to adapt to each of the fights, which I find quite interesting. It's definitely more engaging than constantly loading in and out of an instance to do it. Can't tell if my archers are firing away or not. So you can see here that I've got low effectiveness of 3%. They're not having a good time at all. There does seem to be sort of flanking bonuses and stuff like that. You can see there straight away they drop to double red once I engage them from behind. And eventually they do sort of flee the area and you'll get some influence and stuff for taking them down. So This is the sort of middle default mode. There is like a build only mode. I've had a lot of fun in there. That's where I was learning a lot of the mechanics. And there's another mode which is kind of like a hard mode. I've not tried that one yet. I think this comes out on April 26th. It leaves early access, so this is a very early preview. I'm not sure how different it was to the demo, but I think for you guys looking forward to this, I just wanted to give you guys a bit more of a scope of what's going on. So it's nice and quick, nice and easy. Get when you get back to the game. If we helped you out today, do like, subscribe. I really do appreciate it, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care now.